Welcome to Lazy Hair Tutorials, and my hairstyles are as lazy as my intro.
So I've actually already done a little short review search of rice water, but I want to show you guys the key things that I found. So the first website I'm going to use is healthline.com. It is medically reviewed by a registered dietitian, last updated only a couple of years ago. And the key thing I want to point out from this website is that the key thing from rice water that people have been seeing a benefit from now and even in the past, way back in Heian period in Japan, is that rice water, that starchy water, has inositol in it, which is apparently can penetrate the hair and protect it. So it kind of just tells you how to make rice water, and then the author tried it herself. There is a couple of papers, a couple of articles that they found. So the first one is just a abstract, which they there's more to it, but I don't want to pay for the paper. But it's just an observational study where they look into the past, way back during the Heian period, how Japanese women would use rice water in order to have really long hair. So there's that. And then the other thing that they were talking about, because this is studies, but it's just one study that they found. It looks like a poster really for a research presentation to me, but what they did is that they did some fluorescent imaging and infrared microspectrometer in order to see that inositol can penetrate the hair. There's not really much to say here. It looks like they're trying to do this in order to produce products with inositol in it, and it just says background and results, doesn't say anything else about, like, you know, what type of people they collected the study, how many hair follicles did they use to make these graphs, like we really don't know much, but it's there. So that's all that they could find, because there's not that much evidence out there. And then the other website that I felt like was good to look into was medicalnewstoday.com, reviewed honestly by the same person, but a different month in the same year. And they said similar things, but I felt like they elaborated a little bit more about it, not just in Japan, Southeast Asia, and China, how they used it to not only have long hair, but also have lack of gray hair. So there's that. So there's other like things in rice water too. It's mainly starch, but the inositol, to me, it seems as if that's the main reason why. I couldn't find any strong evidence to support that, but we could just go with it. And they use the same two different like sources, so it says the same thing, and they have their own way of saying how to use rice water, but they go more into the history. So there's that, and then yeah, I'm just here to show you guys that you can get inositol as a capsule form. I mean, I'm not saying at all like, hey, use this to have hair growth, because this is gonna work all on your body, not just on your hair. So I'm not sure if you guys want the other effects with it, but yeah, you can get an over-the-counter supplement. And what I found on rxlist.com is more about the inositol, which is basically a chemical structure. It's like kind of acts as like a hormone carbohydrate kind of thing, and it's found in different plants, animals, even. There has been actual research for other disease to use it for. It's not strong evidence, again, so I'm not saying at all like, oh, use inositol for this, but there is possible maybe effectiveness for these list of diseases, and then ineffective they found for these, likely ineffective for that. And then if you come down here, it doesn't say that it's ineffective, it doesn't say that it is effective, it just says that there's just lack of evidence to rate the effectiveness for hair growth. So yeah, there's that. There's a lot more about it too, though. So yeah, you can take it as a supplement that might help with these other diseases, such as pain disorder, but I just thought that was really interesting. So there's that. And then WebMD literally says the same thing. This is like the exact same thing. Oh, my bad. I need to go to uses. Because at first it talks about like what it's used for, such as polycystic ovary syndrome, metabolic syndromes, um, and then the possible uses. But it's the exact same thing because whenever you go down to like the lack of evidence, you see a bunch of different stuff, including hair growth. So there's that. And then after I did a simple Google search for Inositol and rice water for hair, I looked through Google Scholar and I used different terms. This was the best that I could come up with. This wasn't the only one that I used, but this was the best after searching different terms together. And, you know, it does talk about inositol here and there, but I couldn't find anything really that was like inositol for hair growth. And maybe because I'm living in it to 2010, maybe I should be a little bit more lenient, go all the way back to 2000. But whenever I did find some papers that did talk about root hair growth or hair growth, it was mainly talking about the plant, really, in the ground, then and the cellular signaling and such, but not really like for hair growth. You don't really see people spending thousands of dollars to do research of how it can be used in hair growth like this. It says root hair tip growth, but it's plant cells. It's for plants, guys. It's not really for humans. So I don't like to go to the second page, but that is just a quick summary of what I can find. Oh look, here too is so that's like a bunch of hair growth everywhere, usually from the polycystic ovary syndrome. And it looks like they did some clinical study. Okay, so I'm kind of getting off subject, but as you can see that there's like not that much stuff out there. You could try doing some search yourself. There are other websites that like quote rice water benefit here and there, but I just like to look at stuff that's like I feel like is credible. So and try to find anything I can like read myself, like the actual articles that the website is quoting from. So there really isn't that much out there, but rice water is pretty quick to make at home. It doesn't take that long. You could store it and let it ferment and use it later on, so then it can be even stronger, and then you can really use it however way that you want in order to get the best benefit from it. So I would just say give it a try, because you can easily make this at home and like, you know, don't knock it till you try it. But definitely there is a lack of evidence. So this is more of a like a individual case to case thing, like you just gotta go out and try it, then like, okay, let me go see any articles and see how it affects thousands. So yeah, that's all I could find, but yeah, that's all I could find, but that's what I can recommend. So thanks for watching, guys. See ya.